Hey, what's up everyone? This is Bharat Nagpal for iGyaan.in, and today we're going to be checking out the HTC One Max versus the Xperia Z Ultra or Z Ultra, however you like to call it. I'm just going to call it the Z Ultra. I'm also going to throw in the Xperia Z1 just for comparison's sake, as all three devices are more or less in the premium segment of the marketplace. So let's start off with a basic aesthetic difference. The HTC One Max has a unibody aluminum plus plastic shell, which has plastic on the sides and aluminum on the front and back. The Xperia Z Ultra and Xperia Z1 have glass on the front and back and also have a very premium sort of design. The Xperia Z1 also has a aluminum bezel, so has aluminum and glass, whereas the HTC One Max has aluminum and plastic. The Xperia Z Ultra has plastic and glass. So differences in terms of design and aesthetic. If we talk about specifications, the HTC One Max has a 5.9-inch 1920 by 1080p SLCD3 display. The Xperia Z Ultra has a 6.4-inch 1920 by 1080p display. Now it does not have any particular form of LCD, it's a standard LCD display, but it also has triluminous display and an X-Reality engine, which are Sony proprietary things. So you have a Sony proprietary engine running on the Xperia Z Ultra. The Xperia Z1 has a 5-inch 1920 by 1080p display, which also has the triluminous display and the X-Reality engine from Sony. If we talk about chipsets, on the HTC One Max we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600, which is running at 1.7 GHz, Adreno 320 GPU. On the Xperia Z Ultra as well as the Xperia Z1, we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800, both running at 2.2 GHz and both with Adreno 330 GPU. Cameras are also different. The HTC One Max has a 4 megapixel or 4 ultra pixel camera, which has a 1/3 inch sensor size and a 2 micron pixel. It also does HD video, and the Xperia Z Ultra has an 8 megapixel camera, which also does HD video 1080p. The Xperia Z1, however, has a 20.7 megapixel camera, which has a 1/2.3 inch sensor size. So it has a big sensor, just like that on the HTC One Max. But it's not the same in terms of megapixels. All three do full HD video, as I said. All three also have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, which also capture 1080p video at 30 frames per second. The one on the HTC One Max has a 2.1 megapixel, slightly bigger, but captures 1080p video at 30 frames per second and also has HDR picture capability. Now the HTC One Max will run Android 4.3 out of the box, whereas the other two devices run Android 4.2, and knowing Sony, we can't expect an upgrade to 4.3 anytime soon. Now in terms of performance, the HTC One Max is snappy and really fast to boot, loads up really well. Performance between tasks and loading applications and unloading applications, pretty responsive. HTC says that their software has been tweaked to run really well on this chipset, and it also enhances the battery life. Whereas on the Xperia Z Ultra and the Xperia Z1, we have a Sony proprietary sort of UI, which is like the Timescape UI, which Sony used to have. They don't call it Timescape anymore, but it is a sort of a proprietary UI, more or less vanilla interface. You don't have a lot of features that Sony's added in. You do get some overlays and some task manager applications, but that's about it. Sony's not done too much to the interface. They've added custom applications and they've added some custom features linking to Facebook, etc., but that's about it for the UI. Two redeeming factors for both the Xperia Z Ultra as well as the Xperia Z1 are the fact that both these devices are water resistant with IP58 certification. So they're water and dust resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. So you can literally go swimming with the Xperia Z Ultra or the Xperia Z1, despite the fact that they have exposed 3.5mm headphone jacks. So if you have waterproof earphones like the Monster iSport, you can use these devices to go swimming. Now while the Xperia Z1 is priced at around 42,000 rupees and the Xperia Z Ultra is priced at around 45,000 rupees, we really don't know what the price of the HTC One Max is going to be, so we can't say which one is better in terms of pricing. When we ran a full Antutu benchmark score, we saw that the Snapdragon 800 chipset on both these devices, the Xperia Z1 and the Xperia Z Ultra, almost had a similar result, with 30,800 being the average between these two devices. And the HTC One Max had a considerably lower 25,700 score, and you can see the detailed score chart below the main score over here. Now HTC with Android 4.3 also has added a bunch of new features. You have a new Blink feed interface which allows you to subscribe to custom websites as well as your own topics. You can also get information from Instagram, Flickr, Google+, Facebook, etc. So a lot of social feed inputs showing up on the new Blink feed, subscriptions to custom websites as well. If you don't want to look at the content they're pushing out to you guys, you can get your own content. You can also see that the camera interface has been utilized to do a lot more editing with the camera. So you have new social features, new sharing features, you have new video highlights, as well as a GIF creator that allows you to create GIFs on the go. So a lot of new features with the new HTC One Max as far as the software is concerned, but more or less the same sort of interface. HTC has removed Beats audio from this because their contract with Beats has ended, and you do still get boom sound speakers which have really impressive audio quality, and they are better than the original HTC One. So we are pretty happy with the overall audio quality from the speakers. So there you go guys, this was a quick comparison between the Sony Xperia Z1, the Z Ultra and the HTC One Max. If you have any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below. Check us out on iGyaan.in. Get out all the details on HTC One Max on our channel, which is youtube.com/iGyaan. You can also catch more details on youtube.com/iGyaanTV. For iGyaan Networks, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.